Welcome to the video about You Say by Lauren Daigle. Now I apologize for my voice, I'm fighting a cold, but I did want to make a little video about how to play the song for people that might be struggling with it. So the good news is if you're playing in the original key, or even if you play in the modified key of F or G, it's only 4 chords. So in the key of F, you're going to be making 4 chords, and I'll kind of bend this down and let you take a look at that. Okay, the first one is F, so you'll put your first finger on the 2nd string, 1st fret, 2nd finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret, like that, and that's your F chord right there. The second chord that you'll play is A minor. Very easy chord. It just involves your 2nd finger going to the 4th string, string closest to you, 2nd fret. That's the A minor chord. The third chord is the D minor chord, built very closely to the F. So if you make the F that we already did, 1st finger on the 2nd string, 1st fret, 2nd finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret, you just add your 3rd finger right in between, and that's the D minor chord. And then the tricky chord, if you're going to be playing in the key of F, would be the B flat chord. And although some people play it as a full bar chord, it's generally shown as a partial bar chord. And a bar just means that you're using your finger across all 4 strings or part of the strings. So what you'll want to do is to put your 1st finger across strings 1 and 2 on the 1st fret, and then build 2, 2nd finger going on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and then 3, your 3rd finger on the 4th string, 3rd fret. So if you were to simplify it and not play the 1st string, if you want to think of it this way, you'd put the 1st finger on the 1st fret, 2nd string, 2nd finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and 3rd finger on the 4th string, 3rd fret. But most people will want to do that bar. Now, the tricks with the bar are, some people suggest turning your finger a little bit so that you kind of cover it more. I just say make sure that you're close to the fret, not on the fret, because you don't want to deaden the notes. Get right behind it, and then practice pressing down as lightly as you can and still getting that clean sound, and then building the other fingers on that particular chord. Now, some people do like playing that as a full bar, like basically built the same, except that 1st finger extends across all 4 strings. If that works better for you, feel free to do that too. And if you want to practice just bar chording in general, I take this from Mike Lynch. Start at the 5th fret, bar all 4 strings at the 5th fret. A lot of ukuleles will have a dot there or a dot on the side, like my Koaloha does. And play all 4 strings and go up and back down the neck. And again, you're just pinching behind it with your thumb to get the force that you need. And again, with all these chords, make sure that your thumb is behind the neck as much as you can. Although, if it does wrap around a little bit sometimes, that's okay. Just make sure you're not trying to play, for example, the F chord with your thumb. Make sure that it's fingers 1 and 2. Now let's talk about the finger picking. This song on the piano has an arpeggiated sort of sequence going on, and we're going to try to mimic that on the ukulele. And as I was listening to it, there's a couple strumming patterns that I heard, and these are how I have them listed in the play along. Now, again, finger picking is going to be up to you on how you specifically want to do it. I generally plant my pinky somewhere on the soundboard like this, but some people say that you shouldn't, and you can do it without it. That works too. But then on this soundboard, I'll bend this down a little bit further so you can see it. This again is taken from Mike Lynch in one of his strategies, but you're generally, with finger picking on the ukulele, you're only using 3 fingers. Now occasionally you might use the 3rd finger, but generally it's thumb, finger 1, finger 2, or as it's indicated on the play along, P for thumb, goes back to guitar playing, classical guitar playing, I, index for the index finger, and M for the middle finger. So the thumb does a lot of work in finger picking, and what you're going to do is you're going to pluck the 4th string with the thumb, the second string always with the index finger, and the first string with the middle finger. And for the first thing, what you do is you pluck all of them at the same time. So fingers 1 and 2 come at you, the thumb goes away from you, and you kind of pick at it like this. And by the way, it's best for me to pluck over the sound hole, whereas most of the time we talk about strumming up where the neck meets the body, but in this case we want to pluck over the sound hole. So what you're going to do is you're going to pluck 4, 2, and 1 all at the same time, and then the thumb's going to come back on string 3. Now here's where it gets interesting. You do that first pluck, the thumb, then the first finger, thumb, third finger on the top string, thumb. And it just keeps sequencing like that. I'll go very slowly. It's all together, thumb, second with the first finger, and that happens for one full measure of 16th notes. So it's going to be 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and you can hear that that top note gets hit on every downbeat, including the first, when they all get plucked together. So again, very slowly, it's 1, 2, and 4, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3. Let's look at that with a real chord. First finger is going to go on the second string, first fret. Second finger is going to go on the fourth string, second fret. And then I'm going to pluck that sequence. So it's going to be 1, 2, 4, 3, 2 with the first finger, thumb, third finger, thumb, 2, thumb, and that's going to go each measure. So it's going to go 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and then you're going to change chords in each measure. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 A minor, D minor, B flat, back to F. So again, really slowly, it's 1, 2, and 4, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3. And that's pattern 1. The other pattern that I hear, and again, it kind of goes in and out, and if you hear the karaoke version of this song too that I have as one of the play-alongs, it actually plays that all the way through. But the other pattern that I hear that I talked about was very similar, but all you have to do is pluck 1, 2, and 4, and then 3 of the thumb. And I hear that sometimes, and that'd be pattern 2. So it's 1, 2, 4, and then the thumb on 3. So it's going to sound like this. And then what's interesting is it ends with a single note, in this case F if you end in F. Now are things any different in G? Not really. It's still the same kind of basic idea. So if I was to move it to G, the first finger goes on the third string, second fret. Second finger goes on the first string, second fret. And third finger goes on the second string, third fret. Then you do have to play a bar chord. And if A minor is just the second finger going across. B minor is going to be 2 half steps higher than that. So you're just going to move that A minor chord up by using a bar chord. So you'll put your finger across all 4 strings. You got to make sure that it's in a spot where the grooves on your fingers don't allow the string to slip up and just buzz. So you have to play with where your finger needs to be. You're going to make a bar with your finger and then put a finger across on that, making the B minor chord. So bar and then 2 steps down makes the B minor chord. The E minor chord is one of my favorite on ukulele. So you just go to the 2nd fret on the 1st string and you build down a diagonal. I call it a waterfall when I'm teaching it. You will also see some books that add the 4th string to that, but it's not necessary. And then finally the C chord, which is the 1st string, 3rd fret, which is what most people start off with. And if you're going to use G, it works the same with the plucking patterns. So here's plucking pattern number 1, which is 1, 2, and 4. 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3. And then the second pattern, 1, 2, and 4, and then the thumb going back and forth. I should mention there's one other strumming pattern that I do mention, which is really basic that I hear, which is just downstrokes on the chords, going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's just a simple strum. Now, could you go up and down? Sure, but there's something strong about the downstrokes I like a little bit better. Now, if you choose not to use any of those strumming patterns, or if you find that one strumming pattern works better for you and you have to do that one, please do that. One of the reasons we don't list strumming patterns in most of our videos is because there's not a right answer. This isn't a piano. I've gotten some comments on some other play-alongs where people say, this song doesn't have ukulele, so why are you including it? Well, the idea is to play along, right? So we are just imitating what we're hearing, and if you find something that works better, feel free to use it. If you find something that works better for you, use it. So that's some tips as you try to play You Say by Lauren Daigle. Thanks for watching the video. Please make sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't. And remember, ukulele, it's all about you.